So it's time to paint our maps. We're going to use our watercolors that I gave you. These lovely brand new watercolors made by Crayola, and they should be just fine to do this. So to make your watercolors work, first dip your brush in some water. 1, 2, 3, wipe it on the side. It's okay if it's a little bit drippy. You're going to go into your paint. We're going to start with the green. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to start by painting the coastal plains. So you can just go and gently paint your coastal plain green. And you'll have to go back and forth with your water and the paint to bring your color through. You can't really erase watercolor very easily, so just try to be careful as you're going. And bring that whole eastern shore. Right up here is Elk Neck, and I went up there this past weekend. I got stuck in a rainstorm there. And that takes care of the whole eastern shore, the coastal plain. Now, I think I'd like to do a little bit of the water. You've gotten used to how the paints work. We're going to paint in the Chesapeake Bay. And actually, to paint the Chesapeake Bay first, I'm going to just paint with water where the bay is, and this will help our paint go on nice and smooth. I'm going to paint all the way down here, and remember there is a little bit of land. That's Virginia coming over there, and a little bit over there. That's Big River there. So we've made that part wet now. We're going to go into our blue, and you'll see it just will spread nicely and look very nice and watery as it goes up into the Chesapeake Bay. And you can have it go even up into that Susquehanna River. Up into these rivers as well. Over there is where we live, by the harbor. And you can go up into the Patuxent if you have it on your map. All right, and we're going to go along, this is a little tricky. We're going to go along with the Patapsco. Now the Patapsco is quite wide down here at the bottom. And it's going to really just go all along this border here. It's going to get kind of thinner. You can try by pulling up on your brush to make it be thinner. And that should make it a little thinner. That whole border is the Potomac. Goes into the Chesapeake Bay. All right. Next, we can start to paint our mountains. So go into your water. 1, 2, 3, tickle the bottom, wipe it on the side. You do want to have a little bit of water on your brush to go and get the paint moving. So I'm getting some brown. We're going to start with the highest mountains. No, they're the highest for Maryland, although they're not super high for the United States. And these ones are definitely higher than the Blue Ridge that are coming over. We'll do the Blue Ridge in orange. So washing your brush out, going into your orange. The Blue Ridge are over here. Also quite high, but not as high as the Allegheny or Backbone Mountain area. All right, we have a little more. Wash your brush out really well. We're going to do a little bit more of the coastal plain down here in southern Maryland. And your DC. DC is super flat if you go down there because it's on the coastal plain. And the downtown Baltimore is on the coastal plain, but as we know, up by Mount Washington and school, it's pretty hilly already. And so next we're going to do our Piedmont region. And our Piedmont region, let's do it with yellow. And we can bring some Piedmont down here next to the river. And Piedmont around.
Are you still working on schoolwork, honey?
And some of your map may have dried out more than others. The paint might sit on top if it's not all the way dried out. And it will eventually sink in, but it may just take a little while. You can see my Piedmont region on my map is kind of still not all the way dried. Okay, and then we have the Appalachian Hill and Valley. So I suppose we should make that kind of yellowy and orangey over here. And maybe add just a tiny bit of brown to a little bit to the Blue Ridge, just a little bit. All right, we have finished painting the topography of Maryland, and now we can still put in where the coastline is going to be. Right, we have the coastline up here. Let me see if I can even remember how it looks.